Hey everyone, so right now I'm at the plaza for my 28th birthday. I turned 28 April 26th, and I thought it would be really nice to do a video where I talk about 28 things I learned in 28 years. I feel like I've been through a lot in my life, and I feel like I truly have so much to teach people and so much to share with people. So if you guys like these type of videos, make sure to give me a follow. I also do like luxury hauls, shopping videos, like level up videos, makeup videos, hair videos, all the things. But today we're focusing on advice videos, basically like 28 things I learned in 28 years. And I feel like the last video I did like this was when I was in Positano, Italy. That was the last time I did a video like this. So yeah, I thought this would be really fun. So let's get into it. First thing on my list, number 1, save your money, spend his. Now, this doesn't go for everyone, but for me, I feel like saving your money is so important. And we are basically in a society that is too focused on 50-50 relationships, in my opinion. And I just don't agree. I don't agree with the idea of a 50-50 relationship when it comes to finances. As a man, any man who I'm with, I want him to be a provider. I don't want him to be like, hey Jocelyn, can I borrow your car? Hey Jocelyn, can I borrow some money? Hey, I don't have it right now, can I borrow it? Like, there are certain times and certain circumstances where that might be all right, but overall I want someone who's like, babe, don't worry about it, I got you, here's some money, here you go. Like somebody who wants to dote on me, spoil me, and make sure that I'm comfortable and I'm happy. So save your money, ladies, and spend his. That is number 1 on 28 things I've learned in 28 years. So yeah. Number 2 is get a Roth IRA early and invest. So I didn't get a Roth IRA until I was about 26. I didn't start investing into my Roth IRA until I was about 26, 27. I feel like there were so many situations in which I should have started investing earlier, but I didn't, and I highly regret it. I really regret not starting an investment account in my early 20s. I think it's better late than never, but the earlier you can start doing something like that, especially if you are working for yourself, wanting to be a content creator, or like working for a company that doesn't like set that up for you, make sure to set that up for yourself. You want to be financially stable. Like, the one thing I've learned in 28 years is that financial freedom, and this is number 3, financial freedom is super important as a woman. If you don't have financial freedom, you'll feel stuck. And feeling stuck is never okay and is never a good feeling. And so the best thing that you can do for yourself is make sure that you invest wisely, make sure you take care of your retirement accounts, make sure that you're saving your money when you can. Yes, it's okay to buy things. Yes, it's okay to like splurge and take yourself on a nice vacation, but at the end of the day, you need to be financially secure. That's the most important thing. So number 4 is a job doesn't or shouldn't define you. You guys, I didn't actually get a quote unquote job until I was like 27. I did like YouTube and social media and content creating and stuff like that. So that can always be considered a job. But I went to university, got a degree, never really used that degree. And then I went to esthetician school and got my esthetician license, and I used it. And I feel like so many people get a degree or get a license, and kind of that license or that job or that role defines them as a person. And I really truly believe a job should not define you. If you love your job, that's amazing. If you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, if you're like a neuroscientist or like a aerospace engineer or something like that, kudos to you. I commend you. But for me, I don't want my job to define me. I think also we're realizing now that these businesses are not paying us enough to work for them. These businesses are not valuing us enough, and they're asking us to go above and beyond for them when they will replace us in a second. And for a lot of people, myself included, it's just not worth it. I feel like self-employment or remote work or something where you can be free to like explore the world and travel and live well, that's what's more important. So anyway, so number 5 says, family is important, but if you don't come from a good one, you can make your own with who you surround yourself with who you choose to be friends with who you choose to have in your circle. I have told people this for years, and I truly believe you make your own family. So I'm really close to my mom, my dad, my brother, my nephew, my son, etc. However, I'm not really close to my extended family. And I truly believe, like, I know so many people who aren't really close with their like parents or their siblings, and some people who don't really have any family at all. And I tell these people, and I truly believe, you get to make your family. You make your family through the connections you have, through your friendships, through like the people that you tell your secrets to. Your family can just be a group of your friends, your nearest and dearest friends, but you get to choose your family. We let people get away with a lot because of that word family, but I truly believe just because you're family doesn't mean you get to disrespect me. Number 6 is you are never stuck. So many people I know have like said the statement like, oh, I just feel stuck, or I don't feel like I can like do this, that, or the other. People like to say things like that to me, and I don't ever feel like you're stuck. I think you can feel stuck, but as long as your legs work and your mind works, you're never stuck, right? Number 7 is everything always works out. And this kind of sounds like a manifestation situation, but when I tell you I really believe it, I really believe that this is something I tell myself a lot, like when I'm going through a bad time or a rough time or whatever. I'm always telling myself, you know, everything always works out for you. Everything's going to work out. You know, things might seem hard, things might seem tough, you might be going through a bad time, but everything always works out. You just have to persevere. And I think perseverance is one of the most important things that a person can have, because sometimes you just have to like fight through that hard time to make it to the sunshine. So everything always works out. And in my 28 years, growing up, becoming a teen mom, going to university, all the things I've experienced in my life, that's the one thing that has held true, is that everything always works out. Number 8 is travel as much as you can, you guys. Oh my gosh. So I actually don't get to travel as much as I wish I could, but I'm going to try to change that very, very soon. But I didn't really start traveling until I was like 20 years old. I think I was about 20 years old when I first started traveling out of the country. And it really opened my eyes to the world and opened my eyes to what I could have and what I could see. And it just, endless possibilities opened up to me once I started traveling. Number 9 is luxury should be a way of life, not just an aspiration. You guys, when I tell you, this is what I live by. Luxury should be a way of life, not just an aspiration. So many times it's so easy to aspire to, like, you know, live luxuriously, and that can mean so many things. It doesn't even have to mean anything that involves like shopping or monetary things. That can just be like financial freedom, traveling the world, you know, having a happy, healthy family. luxury can mean so many things, but it should be a way of life. It should not be an aspiration. It shouldn't be something that you wish you could have. It should be something that you work toward having because you know you deserve it. Number 10 is never stop learning. And this goes for whether you're reading books every month or every week or every other month, or whether you're like watching the news and educating yourself on a different topic, taking a school course, going back to school, getting like more education in a career that you're already in. Never stop learning. I truly think, I hear it all the time from people, but like one of the saddest things in the world is when you just become stagnant and you stop learning and you stop caring about information. I really feel like the people who never stop learning and never stop truly being a student of the world live the best lives. Number 11, communication is a key for lasting relationships. I've had so many relationships end because of lack of communication. When I tell you communication is so important for a lasting relationship, and when you have poor communication, it can completely ruin a relationship, and it's so unfortunate. Number 12 is don't beat yourself up for mistakes. Learn from them and move on. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, but the worst thing you can do is to dwell on the mistakes you've made. You learn from them, you take that lesson, and you move on. Do not dwell. Do not dwell. The second that you start constantly beating yourself up over a mistake that you made 2-3 years ago, you're stuck. You've made yourself stuck because you have become stagnant. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. You don't deserve that. Number 13 is everything you want is already yours. You just have to believe that you're deserving, and then you have to figure out how to execute a proper plan to get to that point and to get to those goals. But everything you want in life is already yours. I truly feel like, because I believe this, good things keep happening to me, even when the devil tries to break me down. Number 14 is networking is everything. You guys, I've learned this so much in the past like year, but it's so true. It's insane how if you network correctly, it can completely change your life for the better. It can put you in a whole different tax bracket, and it's just insane. The possibilities are completely endless when you know how to network properly. And I really think that everyone should learn how to network properly. Put yourself in spaces where networking is easier for you to do, and just go out there and just do it, because it only takes, because our connections in life are kind of like everything, and knowing the right people can get you so much farther than your education can. It can get you so much farther than your talent can. Your network is everything. Number 15, try your best to really make the best decisions you can, because it only takes one bad decision to change the trajectory of your life. And sometimes you can bounce back from a bad decision, okay? I've been there, I've done that. But sometimes there are decisions out there that you only get one of. And once you make the wrong one, it's a downward trajectory from here on out. And I feel like if you can really try to like figure out which of those decisions you have in your life and make the right decision, then you'll be better off in this world. Sometimes, like why I also say don't beat yourself up for mistakes, try to make better decisions. And if you make a bad decision, learn from it and move on, but don't keep making the same bad decision. Because if you keep making the same bad decision over and over again, then it's a choice, and you just have to live with the consequences. So 16 is choose your partner wisely. I see a lot of people who sometimes choose the person that they are going to marry or date based off of looks, but they don't take in personality. Some people say, oh my God, you know, intimately we're so good, but they don't take into consideration that this person has like a jealous streak and super abusive and stuff like that. Choose your partner wisely. I don't like the idea of divorce, and I don't like the idea of dating a million people either. So I feel like in this life, hello? Hold on. Quick break because we had to take a quick break because I just had somebody drop this off in the room. I'm gonna open it and see what it is. Oh my God, this is so cute. Little macaroons. Okay, can you see that? This was really cute. Okay. You want to make sure you're not making your life harder because of this decision you made in a partner. I've seen it happen time and time again. And I also have an amazing example of an amazing relationship with my parents who have been married for like 44 years. I truly believe the decision of who you choose to have as your life partner or your boyfriend or girlfriend is super, super important to how happy your life can be. Now, I mean, you can always be by yourself too. That's always an option, just so you know. So number 17 is don't tolerate disrespect for too long or you'll start to get used to it. I really want you to hear that again. Don't tolerate disrespect for too long or you'll start to get used to it. I've seen it happen. Do not tolerate disrespect for too long from a workplace. I was at a workplace recently. I just quit, but I felt like my workplace situation was so disrespectful and it was getting to a point where I was tolerating it and I started to get used to it. I started to adapt and I started to just like kind of be like, oh, this is how it is. Oh, this is how like my boss is. Oh, there's nothing I can do. No, unacceptable. When you start tolerating disrespect for too long, you get used to it, and that is completely unacceptable in my mind. With work colleagues, with partners, with boyfriends, with husbands, with friendships, I don't care. Don't do it. Don't, because just be aware if you're going to do it, that if you do it for too long, it's a possibility that you'll get used to it. And I don't think anybody should ever get used to disrespect. 18. Most of the time, experience is more or can be more important than education. I feel like this is happening more and more and more. Network and experience is becoming more valuable than education. Education is still really important, and it always will be. You should never stop learning, like I said. That was number 10. But it's okay to not have a lot of friends. This is number 19, by the way. So number 19 is it's okay to not have a lot of friends. It's better to have a small circle of supporters than to have a large circle with some people betting on your downfall. I think as you get older, you realize that some people will put on a good act. They'll act like they're your bestie. They'll act like they have your best intentions in mind. But then they're the first person to backstab you. And while I don't feel like you should move through the world wary of trusting people, I do feel like a lot of the times it's better to have a smaller circle of people who actually like care about you than to have a large circle of people who find you to be disposable. Number 20 is expand your palette if you weren't able to as a young adult. Growing up, I never had caviar. I never had, what else is something like foie gras. I never had sushi or any of that stuff when I was younger. I only started experiencing those type of foods when I was in my mid-20s. And so I think that if you can, starting at a younger age, start to expand your palate. And, you know, when you're going to different countries, experience the foods from those countries, experience the like delicacies from different cultures. Just, I think it's really sad when you're around people who are so like closed-minded to like try new things. And like, it's so sad to me when there's people out there who like only eat chicken tenders and french fries. Like, don't do that. 21 is, it's okay to not always agree with someone's opinion. Not everyone has to agree with you. That doesn't make them a bad person. I feel like that is self-explanatory. I feel like this when it comes to a lot of things, when it comes to politics, when it comes to, you know, just so many things in life. But I feel like the world is becoming more and more divisive. But I truly think just because somebody doesn't agree with you doesn't make them a bad person. It doesn't. It doesn't. I think being a closed-minded person is probably one of the worst things you can be, but not everybody has to agree with you. Nobody said that anyone ever had to agree with you, and that's not your problem, you know? Number 22 is, don't let the actions of one taint your opinion of the whole group. Just because one man has done you wrong doesn't mean all men are bad. Just because one woman has done you wrong doesn't mean all women are bad. Just because a dog bit you doesn't mean all dogs are bad. Don't let the actions of one person or animal or whatever taint the whole group for you. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people should take into consideration. Number 23 is, what other people think about you is none of your business. I know it's so easy to be petty. I am a very petty person, but at the end of the day, what other people think about me is none of my business, because it says more about them than it does about me. All right, and then number 24, I think for a number 24, it would probably have to be, don't try to force things. Don't try to force relationships. Don't try to force people to be with you. Don't try to force things. Because a lot of times, like, if you think about it, sometimes if you're like trying to force a key into the door and it happens to be the wrong key, then you'll end up breaking the key. If you try to force things, sometimes you'll end up breaking them. So a lot of times it's better to not try to force things. Just let things happen how they're supposed to happen. 25, I think, would be kind of like going off of that last one. Everything happens for a reason. That is probably the most basic thing I feel like so many people say, and not everybody like to hear that, but I still believe it. Everything happens for a reason. And then 26, what would 26 be? Protect your peace. In the past couple of years, I have had a lot of people disturb my peace. Co-workers, bosses, exes, and I truly think that I have realized just how important it is to protect my peace. And when something is disturbing my peace, my whole body starts to go into shock. When something is disturbing my peace, I will get anxiety attacks. I'll start like crying, and I don't cry, by the way. So like my whole body kind of goes into shock, and I stop acting like myself. So I think if anything, 26 is definitely like right on the money. Protect your peace. If you feel like you're around people or working with people who are disturbing your peace, you have to let them go. You have to distance yourself. That doesn't mean that you have to like completely cut them off, even though I think that's good sometimes. Sometimes just distancing yourself for a while is the best thing you can do for yourself. I truly believe this. Number 27, 28 things I learned in 20 years. Number 27 would be learn how to do things on your own. Learn how to travel by yourself. Learn how to cook for yourself. Learn how to clean up after yourself. Learn how to do your hair on your own. Learn how to braid your hair. Learn how to do things on your own. Because a lot of times when you don't have to depend on someone to do something for you, it's a very freeing feeling. So when you can learn how to do things on your own, I feel like even if you don't always do that, you don't always have to cook for yourself. You don't always have to do things for yourself all the time, but it's really nice if you know how to do things for yourself, you know, so you don't have to depend on someone else. Like, don't depend on other people for your happiness, you know, because if you do that, you will never truly be happy. So number 28 is love yourself first. I feel like it's an age-old saying that you have to love yourself before you can love anyone else. And you may or may not agree with that, but how can you pour into a cup if your cup is empty? I have it tattooed on myself because I feel like as a woman and as a mother, but this goes for anyone. How can you pour into others when your cup is empty? Love yourself first. Build yourself up first. Help yourself as much as you can so that you can help others. That is probably the most important lesson I've learned in all 28 years. And so yeah, I hope you guys like this video. I know it was a long one, but I absolutely loved making this list for you. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will talk to you guys very, very soon.